Let's talk about the theme that you were also pointing out in your initial comments, Mayuresh, pre-budget positioning. We're already seeing, investors lapping onto some railway stocks over the last few days, some infra-related names, cement sector names, metal names. They're coming back in flavor
Yeah.
yet again. Do you think you would advise investors to look at some of these pockets well ahead of time to take the benefit of what the budget announcements could be? We've always seen the budget announcements around infra garner a lot of interest from all the investors. What is it that you would be positive on ahead of the budget, and what would you advise there?
So clearly, I think in terms of allocation for urban rural affordable housing, I think the allocation is going to be quite significant as far as the budgetary estimates are concerned. And therefore, I
Hmm.
think cement as a subsector is something to obviously look at. Obviously, you've seen a lot of consolidation happening for the sector. You've been hearing of price hikes that have been initiated. And therefore,
Yes.
as costs remain stable, the expectation of both these factors with utilization levels going up for the industry as a whole will clearly mean operating leverage getting played out. Secondly, I think with a lot of captive power getting used, I think there is sufficient amount of savings as far as energy costs is concerned. So this is definitely one sector that you need to keep on your radar. And the second element, obviously, I think you are expecting a strong allocation happening towards infrastructure and manufacturing. So I think if you probably look at the budgetary allocations for railways, roads, port development, metro development has been quite significant. And therefore, I think if you probably choose certain elements within these pockets itself, where budgetary allocations can be quite significant and where a few of the leading companies can probably get a fair share of their order wins coming through, and where
Hmm.
execution has been top notch. I think a few stocks within these sectors can do well. Last but not the least, again, I think waste and water management is something that I've been extremely bullish upon over the last few quarters, and I still remain bullish over the next few years because this is one theme that will continue doing well, in my opinion. As we head towards 2030, you're seeing most companies put out their ESG guidance is
Hmm.
coming in. Carbon emissions are expected to get cut down quite significantly. So I think this is one space along with power. So I think renewables along with waste and water management, I think this is one space where some idea and stock picking can actually be initiated.
Could you name some stocks then, Mayuresh, from this space?
Let's look at Tata Power as an example, right? Within the leading power manufacturers, they've given amazing targets for 2030 in terms of revenues, in terms of EBITDA, around
Hmm.
10,000 crores, 30,000 odd crores. And therefore, I think what you're probably looking at in terms of core numbers and the aspects of renewable that it's getting into, I think this is one qualitative stock that you can probably look at. Again, stocks within the broader universe as far as waste management, water management are concerned. You've got
Yeah.
stocks like Welspun Enterprises, Welspun Corp as an example. I think it's a
Yeah.
perfect in terms of what they are doing in terms of both these elements put together. And therefore, as incremental orders start coming through with better margins and they execute well, I think everything should see a reasonable amount of growth going forward.